Howdy, crafters. Today, I'm back on this server where I tell stories while I play Minecraft. I haven't been here in a while. That was also a really long pause. Well, I can't help it. Anyway, so today, I'm planning to talk about just one, not several, but one topic. Just one. And that, I think it's a story in itself, because, well, it was an interesting one. And probably one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. I still remember it so well. But anyway, let's hop right into it. So basically, this kind of starts back when I lived in Alabama. That's right, I lived in Alabama. I've mentioned this before, several times. It wasn't terrible in Alabama, it was just, it was okay. I'll go with that, it was okay. I really wish life was better though, because there were a few problems, but I could push past them because, well, I didn't really do much in Alabama. I think the one major thing I did there was probably take care of a few puppies, which actually I could make a story out of that story too. That one had a tragic ending. But basically, while we were there, besides helping raise some puppies, I don't really think I did much. I know some of my family got a lot of things done there, but for me, okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I had a very boring life before I started YouTube. Like, I really didn't do much. This whole channel was kind of a reason to help me get out of my normal comfort zone and be a little more out there, energetic, and honestly, I think it worked for the better. So to discuss the story, it actually started back when I didn't know how to ride a bike that much. Like, I didn't know a thing, I was completely clueless, and yeah, I really didn't know how to ride a bike. Slowly but surely, my sister was able to teach me. And after just like a day or two of training, I thought, I'm actually really good at the bike. So yeah, I really liked it. Now, the only sad part was I didn't know how to use the brakes yet. I was still learning about those. We'll come back to those in like a second. But basically, yeah. So we started learning, I started to learn how to ride my bike. It had been about a day or two since I learned. And, oh boy. So, normally the mail was delivered around like 12 in the morning to around 3 in the afternoon. And I decided to tell my dad, hey Dad, would it be okay if I went down with my new bike? Not new bike, it was quite old, but the bike I was using. Could I use it to go down and get the mail? And he said, sure. So I hopped on my bike and I went on down there. And as I was going down, I realized something. If you're wondering what that something was, remember how I said I hadn't learned to use the brakes yet? Well, you see, back in Alabama, there was this giant pit at the end of our road, because we lived on like a hill, so basically the entire hill was like a lot more, I guess, higher than most things, and when we got down to the bottom, there was a giant pit. Not really that big enough to hurt someone if they fell down in it, but not big enough to actually injure them badly. But I don't know, I hadn't been down there ever. It actually kind of scared me. So basically, while I was riding down that hill to get to the mailbox to see if there was any mail inside, I felt all chill, like, all right, okay, we're getting close, it's time to stop. And then I realized, I don't know how to stop! So basically, I'm freaking out, like, what the heck, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get out of this situation? Oh, And then, it happened. I rode right across the street, and I fell back first into the pit. Next thing I knew, everything was pitch black. I had no idea what was going on. I couldn't think of anything. Then I started to see like a strange bright light. And then all of a sudden I wake up, finding myself in the pit. My bike just lying to the side. Completely confused. I start crying out, "Mom! Dad!" Yeah, it was really it was weird. Actually, not weird. It was more scary than anything else. But basically, after I was down there, I tried to move. I could move everything except my left arm. It hurt like the heckins to use my left arm. I hated using my left arm. Like, it hurt like crazy. Like, it hurt so much. I never knew something could hurt so badly. It hurt like crazy. I tried to get out of the pit and I struggled, but somehow, with all my determination, after leaving my bike in there and just trying to get back up, I somehow, with just my right hand, crawled out. I admit, I thought my left arm was broken. I really did. Because I couldn't move it. Everything, it hurt entirely. And it just hurt. Like, I didn't like it. After getting out of the pit, obviously the pit was like a small little swamp area, so I was just completely covered in watery mush. And you know how I said I was going out there to get the mail? Well, after I got out, the first thing I did was go to the mailbox. I know, stupid, but when I have something I plan to do, I go do it. Even if it's completely stupid. So, that's what I did. After getting the mail, I ended up going back to the house, crying like crazy, telling my dad that there wasn't any mail. He was worried like that, like complete heck, like, what the heck, what happened? And I explained to him what happened, still in tears, trying to explain everything, thinking that my left arm was broken. So, then after that, he quickly helped me, like, he helped patch me up, and then after that, he simply, he simply helped me get back to what I looked like before this whole fiasco. One thing I consider lucky about that whole situation was how I managed to actually not get hit by a car. I had rid across the street because, again, I couldn't stop past the road because I didn't know how to use the brakes yet. And luckily there were no cars around. So I fell into the pit, but I didn't actually get hit by a car. So that's part of a relief. After that, I ended up having to lay on the couch for a bit, still crying with how much my arm hurt. And then my mom took me to the hospital to see if my arm was broken. Thankfully, somehow, my arm wasn't broken. But it was severely injured, and thus I had to end up sitting and lying down for the next few days with barely being able to move my arm. But the fact that it wasn't broken was crazy. Basically, it was really weird. I really didn't know what to expect. But, hey, I didn't have a broken arm. Still, the event was extremely traumatizing. The fact that it's still probably my most painful memory when it comes to, me getting injured, that's probably the worst of it. Nearly breaking my arm, from falling down to a pit, from not knowing how the brakes work. After that, I ended up just giving my bike away because I really didn't want to bike again, but I ended up picking it back up when we went to Virginia. After we moved out of Virginia, I haven't really used my bike that much. In fact, I don't even know if I still have one. I really don't remember because after my time biking in Virginia, I really didn't have many plans to ride a bike again. Although I did have this weird biking idea in my head back when I was younger. I don't know what it was, but it was a thing. So yeah, that was the story of my bike incident. Or the time, basically, that I fell off my bike into a pit. It hurt. Like, I don't even know how I was alive. But apparently it was much safer than I thought it was, because I honestly thought I'd be dead. But I'm obviously not, because I'm right here. Unless I was a ghost. Wait, am I a ghost? Holy...